for a new city,
new development project.
fresh land.
The line is well underway.
The line.
The line.
The line.
It's designed in 3 dimensions. Who do you think is going to be at the top?
Project which is called the Hidden Marina.
Saudi Arabia's vision of city living utopia burst onto the internet in a blaze of glory with rendered images and carefully curated words. The Line, a vertical city with mirrored walls stretching 170 kilometers into the desert from the Red Sea coast, portrays a vision of modern living rooted in sustainability while prioritizing people's health and well-being. In this video, we're going to show you 10 things you didn't know about this controversial and, quite frankly, insane futuristic project. Here it is, The Line. Welcome back to Lifestyle Billionaire Club, where future millionaires and the new rich come for inspiration and education on how to reach their goals, build true wealth, and learn to keep it. This channel isn't for the lazy, so if you aren't here to get inspired, you may as well leave now. But if you're a connoisseur of the good life, welcome, you found your home. And before we get into today's video, if you're dedicated to hitting your next level and continuing to learn and grow, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications. And if you get value out of today's video, share it with friends because remember, getting rich is more fun together. So let's get into it, shall we? It's been seen as a vanity project, a solution to the problems of city living, both a utopia and a dystopia. Many doubted whether it would even begin to be built. But in October 2022, drone footage was released showing what looks like the start of building the futuristic city. The words "dream big" or "go home" were made for projects like this. So let's take a look at what's going on with The Line. Number 1, The Line is considered by many to be a pipe dream that won't come to fruition. In 2022, spectacularly rendered images and videos showed Saudi Arabia's dream, a vertical city stretching 170 kilometers into the desert, home to 9 million people. It is considered by many to be a pipe dream, and not without reason. Saudi Arabia have plans, big plans, for moving away from their dependency on oil. These plans are based around NEOM, an ambitious development that aims to put Saudi Arabia at the forefront of global trade and business. Projects of this size don't have a good track record in Saudi Arabia, or in other countries for that matter. There is no limit to our dreams and imaginations, but there are definitely limits in the real physical world. Overambitious projects generally fail or need substantial adaptations made to them. Critics of The Line put it firmly into this category. As work has just begun on The Line, and the first section is due to be completed by 2030, we'll have plenty of time to see what happens. Number 2, AI technology is being heavily utilized for running The Line. Unfortunately, much of this hasn't actually been developed yet. AI is a vital part of the design of The Line. It will be used to maintain, monitor, and continuously improve the quality of people's lives who live there. In fact, most of the systems integrated into The Line will be AI controlled. This has brought up concerns around the privacy, security, and safety of The Line's residents. Given Saudi Arabia's views and regulations on freedom of speech and the consequences people face when they break these rules, this is no small concern. Before that even comes into play, there's the issue that much of the technology that will be needed hasn't been developed yet. This minor detail doesn't seem to be stopping building work though, and the idea is that these technologies will be figured out as the project is being built. Saudi Arabia is plowing a lot of time, money, and expertise into AI, and technology does evolve fast, but will it evolve fast enough for The Line to function as intended? We'll have to wait and see. Number 3, AI isn't the only thing that is included in The Line's design but isn't quite ready yet. The line itself is planned to be 170 kilometers long with a high-speed subterranean rail link planned that will take you from one end of the line to the other in 20 minutes with only 4 stops. Impressive, eh? The problem here is that the fastest bullet train can't manage that. In fact, the only thing that may possibly come close is the Hyperloop, which which is still under development. It's not to say that there can't be a fast rail link, just that it might not be that fast. As there will be no cars and no roads in the line, transport systems have had to be designed completely differently. Accessibility is a key point, and the idea is that all amenities will be in walking distance or can be accessed easily through horizontal transport systems. Pods, light rail, or horizontal elevators have been suggested for this task by NEOM's director, Giles Pendleton, but as you might guess, this particular solution hasn't been decided yet. Number 4. The physical size of this project is astounding. The plan is that the line will house up to 9 million people. It's been designed in a way to tackle the problem of urban sprawl, which all cities face. To manage this issue, the line will consist of 2 rows of buildings that run parallel to each other and are 200 meters apart. It will run for 170 kilometers and will be around 500 meters tall. Imagine, if you will, 2 rows of 2,001 World Trade Centers. These 2 rows will be joined together by walkways, and everything you can imagine a city this size needs will be present. Schools, hospitals, stadiums, opera houses, swimming pools, offices, shops, etc. on 1 pedestrian level and 2 subterranean levels. The entire footprint for the line will be 34 kilometers, and it's expected to be ready for the first 1 million residents in 2030. The year 2045 has been thrown out for the completion date of the full project, but things have gone quiet on that front. Honestly, we wouldn't hold our breath. Number 5. How the line will be constructed is interesting. As mentioned previously, the completion date for the first stage of the line has been moved to 2030. By then, it is hoped that it will be ready to house 1 million people. Giles Pendleton, the executive director of the line, talks about it being assembled with pre-engineered modules rather than built, which brings up interesting imagery of IKEA flat-pack furniture. We're hoping that it'll last longer. Building or assembling the line in sections makes sense. It would enable enough of the city to be built so that people can move in and live in a fully functioning city. It may lack the bells and whistles that are planned, such as a world-class water park or sports stadium in the beginning, as these will be built as the population requires them. It's looking more and more like a build-on-demand kind of project. Building this way will also give the developers the opportunity to stop the project. Perhaps the full 170-kilometer stretch won't happen, but a smaller scale version will. Number 6. The line is designed to have everything you could possibly need within walking distance. There will be no roads, no cars, meaning no traffic pollution or car accidents. Residents will have access to all facilities within a 5-minute walk, and it will take 20 minutes to go from one end of the line to the other. Residents will also enjoy 0 wait times for commutes too, hence the need for AI to figure this out and possibly invent time travel or Star Trek-like transporters. To fit everything into such a small footprint and to make it as accessible as possible, the line will be built on 3 levels. The first, pedestrian level, will be where people live and play. It's the one that's above ground. The second and third levels are subterranean. The second level will be home to services such as offices and shops. The third level, known as the spine, will house the high-speed rail link, a slower rail link, and a freight service. There's no doubt that there are some interesting concepts being included in plans for the line. Are there any so far that appeal to you? Let us know in the comments, and remember to like and subscribe to our channel. If any of your friends would be interested in this video, please share it with them. Now, let's get back to it. Number 7, the line isn't a new idea. Tackling urban sprawl by building upwards isn't a new idea. Developers have been building tower blocks and creating community living with access to green spaces and amenities since the 1950s. The line also bears a resemblance to an idea that originated in the 1960s. An Italian architectural collective called Super Studio came up with a structure that would wrap around the world. The continuous monument was created as a warning to the world against excessive urbanization. It was never intended to be built. Packing people into high-rise towers comes with its own set of problems, mental health issues and isolation being at the forefront. The average population density of the line will be 260,000 people per square kilometer, which far exceeds the world's most densely populated city in 2020, Manila, at 44,000 people per kilometer. Problems with noise, privacy, personal space, as well as ensuring an adequate water supply, drainage, and power are sure to occur. It does have to be said that a luxury model of high-rise living looks different to the stark concrete blocks of modern high-rises, and the green areas which form a huge part of the design will help. Philippe Oldfield of the University of New South Wales has said that quality of life would likely be down to the management of the city rather than the visual design, though. Despite doubts over whether the line project will reach completion, it has opened up debate as to how we can live sustainably. The ideas that have been put forward in the line are intriguing, even if some aren't feasible. Number 8. Part of the reason why the line has been designed in such a way is to lessen the impact on its natural surroundings. Having a small footprint to support such a large number of people is commendable. However, concerns have been raised as to the impact on the existing wildlife in the area. The mirrored exterior walls serve to deflect heat, to support the solar panels, and to enable the structure to blend into the surroundings, rather than to stand out like a sore thumb. Like many things in life, and this project, there's a downside to this. The knock-on effect of this giant mirrored facade is that the surrounding areas will be substantially heated up, and birds will likely fly into the walls. The desert is home to a number of wildlife species, but there has been no mention of them. Building a structure that effectively cuts across the desert will impact the animals' migratory routes. In these cases, migratory tunnels could be utilized, but they're not in the plan so far. The claim that 95% of the natural habitat will be left untouched seems to only apply to the landscape rather than the creatures that live there. In fact, there's no mention of the people who are currently living in the area either. Number 9. Did you know that there are approximately 20,000 indigenous tribal people already living in the area where the line will be built? These existing communities are being evicted. 4 members of the Hawitat tribe have been sentenced to death as a result of their protests against the build. One leader was shot during protests, and others have been sentenced up to 50 years in prison. Some compensation has been offered to encourage people to move. Saudi Arabia's appalling record of human rights violations is well known, and although some reform is happening, it's a drop in the ocean of the changes that need to be made. So how does a project that is aimed at improving the quality of human life and protect the environment around it fit in with this? We don't know if it can. Number 10. The state within a state. The line is part of a larger development, NEOM, which is set to be Saudi Arabia's flagship business and technology hub for the world. When plans were first released, there was talk of it being a separate state from Saudi Arabia with its own laws. Now it looks as though it will have its own separate economic legislation, but everything else will be subject to the existing laws and regulations of Saudi Arabia. There is talk of the residents having their own advisory board, but ultimately, the Saudi head of state will rule. We're unsure how this will work in practice, and if the grand designs, visions, and promises of utopia will be enough to persuade people to relocate there. The concept of the line is fascinating. However, the more you delve into it, the more you see how much of it is built on dreams, future developments, and working it out as it's being built. Whether the dream will translate into reality is yet to be seen, but you'll be sure that the world is watching. To recap, 10 things you didn't know about the line are: Number 1, there are doubts as to whether it will be built. Number 2, it's designed around AI technology that hasn't been developed yet. Number 3, there are other parts of the design that are being included but haven't been worked out yet, such as the high-speed rail link and horizontal transport systems. Number 4, the size and scope of the line is mind-blowing. Number 5, it's a modular system of construction that may be built to demand. Number 6, the line utilizes vertical and horizontal space so that people are only a short walk or ride away from where they want to be. Number 7, the ideas behind the line aren't all new. Number 8, the line is being designed to leave much of the surrounding landscapes intact. Number 9, existing communities living in the area are being displaced for the structure to be built. And number 10, it will be subject to the same laws as Saudi Arabia, except economically. There is so much that can be written about the line, and we've tried to focus on 10 of the most important points. What do you think about the line? Would this luxurious futuristic development appeal to you? Let us know in the comments below. We'll see you on the next one, and keep helping you build on your path to wealth. Thanks for watching, and check out the next video. As always, remember to subscribe and turn on post notifications.